Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are getting into the single most important ingredient for all of artificial intelligence. And nope, it's not the fancy algorithms or the super fast computer chips, it's the data. You could even say it's the very lifeblood of AI.
So let's just jump right in with a huge question. Can an AI even survive without data? Well, the short answer is absolutely not. Not even a little bit. And over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly why data is so critical and what that means for the tech that's changing our world. To really get our heads around this whole relationship, we're going to use one really simple metaphor for this whole explainer. An AI's brain needs food. Let's start right here. I want you to picture any AI system, a chatbot, a self-driving car, whatever. Just think of it as a powerful, complex brain. It has all this incredible potential, but all that potential is completely useless until you add data. Data is the food that nourishes that brain. Without the food, the brain can't learn, it can't grow, it can't do anything. It's just an empty shell with zero intelligence. So what exactly is this food we're talking about? Well, think of an AI like a student. The data, that's its entire library of textbooks. It's all the information the AI studies to learn patterns, to understand how the world works, and eventually to become an expert in something. Okay, so if data is food, what kind of food are we talking about here? Is it all the same? Let's take a look at what's actually on an AI's menu. Honestly, the definition of data for an AI is incredibly broad. We're talking about words from books and articles, the millions of cat photos on the internet, videos, the sound of your voice when you talk to a smart assistant, numbers and spreadsheets. Basically, almost any piece of digital information can become a meal for an AI. Now, this data really comes in two main flavors. On one hand, you've got structured data. Think of a perfectly organized spreadsheet where everything is in neat rows and columns. It's super easy for computers to digest. But then there's unstructured data. And that's all the messy, chaotic stuff like photos, emails, social media posts. And here's the kicker, most of the data in the real world is this messy, unstructured kind. Okay, so we know what the food is, but how does an AI actually learn to, eat it and get smarter from all that information? The basic idea is actually pretty straightforward. Let's say you want to teach an AI to recognize cats. First, you feed it thousands, maybe millions of cat pictures. Then, and this is key, you label every single one of them. You tell the AI, this is a cat. And then you show it pictures of other things like dogs and label those dog. By comparing all these examples again and again, the AI starts to figure out the patterns, pointy ears, whiskers, that scream cat. And you know what? It's the exact same principle for those chatbots we all use. They get fed these massive collections of text from all over the internet, books, articles, websites. And from all that data, they learn everything from basic grammar and facts to the really subtle things, like the natural flow of a good conversation. And this brings up a really important distinction. The difference between labeled and unlabeled data. Labeled data, like our cat photos tag cat, is like giving a student a study guide with all the answers already filled in. That's called supervised learning. But unlabeled data is just, raw information with no context. The AI has to look at all of it and try to find the patterns all by itself, which, as you can imagine, is a much tougher job. Now, just like with our own diets, it's not just about how much food you eat, it's about the quality of the food. An AI is no different. So let's talk about what makes for a healthy AI diet. The key ingredients for really high-quality data are pretty clear. First, it has to be accurate, so the AI learns the right things. It also needs to be diverse, so it can handle a ton of different situations. It has to be up-to-date to stay relevant. This next one is critical. It must be unbiased to avoid learning our own human prejudices. And of course, it still needs to be large. AIs learn best from a massive number of examples. This all really boils down to a timeless saying in computer science, and you've probably heard it before, garbage in, garbage out. If you train an AI art generator on nothing but pictures of red cars, it's probably going to have a hard time making a picture of a blue one. Bad data in means bad results out. It's as simple as that. So where is all of this headed? Well, as AI keeps evolving, its diet is changing too. So let's take a quick look at the future of AI's food. There are a few really big trends shaping what's next. We're seeing the rise of something called synthetic data, where AIs actually create artificial information to train other AIs. This can be a huge help for privacy. We're also seeing a move toward smaller, smarter datasets, where quality really beats quantity. And there's a huge leap forward with something called multimodal data.
And this idea of multimodal data is a true game changer. AI systems aren't just learning from text anymore, or just from images. No, they're learning from text, images, audio, and video all combined. Think of it like giving the AI a complete, balanced meal with every food group, which makes it way, way more powerful. Okay, let's pull all of this together and see why it actually matters in our everyday lives. We've been saying that data is AI's food, but it really is its true lifeblood.
So why should you care? Because data is powering the technology you use every single day. The face recognition on your phone, your voice assistant, self-driving cars, even things like medical diagnoses and chatbots. None of it, not a single one, works without massive amounts of high-quality data. And here's one last really important idea to wrap your head around. The AI isn't memorizing every single cat photo. It's not some giant hard drive. Instead, it's learning the mathematical patterns from the data. It learns the probability that pointy ears and whiskers show up together, so it can make a really intelligent guess when it sees a brand new image. So, we've seen the data is the essential fuel for this entire AI revolution. But that leaves us with a really critical question. As AI's appetite for data just keeps growing and growing, how do we protect our own? That's something we're all going to need to think about. Thanks for joining me.